you like graphic novels or comic books? Then check out Comic Squad Recess. This fun book full of different stories around your favorite time of the day, that's right, recess, is available at your Cardinal Lane Book Fair.
Escape from Mr. Limoncello's Library is one of my personal new favorites this year. Do we have any Charlie and the Chocolate Factory fans out there? How about the Gollywhopper games? Maybe do you enjoy Jeopardy? Do you like puzzles and mysteries? If you do, you will love this great new book, Escape from Mr. Limoncello's Library. Luigi Limoncello is a world-famous game inventor. He donates funds to build a brand new state-of-the-art library in his hometown. To celebrate the grand opening, 12-year-olds are selected to spend the night in the library the night before. Kyle Keeley is so excited that he got selected to be part of that group. There's only one catch. When these 12 kids get there, they're locked in the library and told that they have to do a secret contest to find the secret exit out of the library. And whoever finds the secret exit first will win a fabulous prize. They're all competing against each other. Maybe they should form teams. And then there's the awful Charles Chillington, who is a sneaky cheat who's trying to do underhanded things to win. Well, if you like a page-turner from the very beginning to the end, clues, puzzles, pictograms, check out Escape from Mr. Limoncello's Library, a surefire hit at your Cardinal Lane Book Fair.
Boys and girls, I bet most of you have read the fairy tale Rumpelstiltskin. Do you remember the mean little Rumpelstiltskin who took valuable things away from the beautiful girl because she had to spin straw into gold and didn't know how to do it? Oh, he seemed like such a horrible character, didn't he? Well, let me tell you, there's another side to that story. In the book Rump, the true story of Rumpelstiltskin, we learn to look at the story from a little different point of view. You see, Rump in this story is a 12-year-old boy whose mother died right after giving birth to him. In fact, she was trying to say the name that she wanted him to have, but she only got out the first part, Rump, before she died. Everybody in the town makes fun of him. He's named after somebody's rear end. Well, Rump has a pretty rough life. He lives with his grandmother in a small hut, and every day he has to go and try to find gold in the mountains. Most of the gold has already been taken by the pixies. But one day, when Rump comes home, he finds an old spinning wheel that used to belong to his mother. His grandmother is going to throw it away. She says it's cursed. But when Rump begins to work with it, he finds out that he can spin straw into gold. The only problem is he has to always be willing to give up the gold for anything someone wants to trade him for it. The miller in the town, who is not a very nice person, gives Rump small bits of things in order to get large amounts of gold. But when his daughter ends up going to the king's palace, she needs Rump's help. Is he going to help her? Can this curse be broken? What is the real story about this guy Rumpelstiltskin? Check out this book and find out the other side of the story.
Elvis Ruby is a singer and performer, and he's on the biggest stage at the biggest moment of his life, in front of an audience of millions on a hit TV show. And then he freezes up. To get away from the paparazzi and all the people who want to ask him what happened, he runs away and hides in this little New Jersey town where he meets Cecilia, a girl who's working at the Pancake Palace. Can Elvis and Cecilia keep Elvis's identity a secret before the paparazzi and all the people who want to know why he froze on stage before they come and find them? You got to find out by reading hiding out at the Pancake Palace.
Kelsey Green loves reading more than almost anything. Her parents are constantly having to say, "Kelsey, put that book down and go outside and get some fresh air." Well, when Mr. Boone, the school principal, announces that there's going to be a school-wide reading contest, Kelsey is very excited. You see, she's used to being the best reader in the 3rd grade, reading more books than anyone except perhaps Simon, her sworn enemy in another class. If the entire school can read at least 2,000 books in a month, the principal, Mr. Boone, is going to shave his beard. But even more important, the class that reads the most book will get a big pizza party, and the student in each grade that reads the most will get a special certificate. Kelsey is determined to read more books than anyone else, and she wants her whole class to read so that they can win the pizza party. Well, her friends Annika and Izzy seem to be more interested in math and track than reading, and one boy in the class, Cody, hasn't read a single book. Kelsey is getting pretty upset with them. What's going to happen? Can she keep it together, or is she going to end up reading for the wrong reason? If you love contests and you love books, check out Kelsey Green, Reading Queen.
Elvis and the Underdogs is such a funny book. I'm sure you will love it. In this story, 10-year-old Benji has some health problems. He's small and scrawny, and when he gets stressed, he tends to faint. Now, how would you like to be stressed getting ready for a test and you faint? Well, one day at school he has a seizure which ends him up in the hospital. The doctor says, "Benji, you have a choice. You can have a padded helmet to protect your head when you fall, or a therapy dog." So, if I were Benji, would I take the padded helmet or would I take the dog? Well, of course Benji takes the dog. And he is so excited about this therapy dog arriving. A few days later, this huge crate shows up at his door, and this dog is over 200 pounds. His name is Elvis, and he can actually talk, but only Benji can understand him. Do you think that this creates a lot of havoc at Benji's house? Well, if you like a really funny story about dogs and kids, you'll love Elvis and the Underdogs.
Boys and girls, can you imagine getting to live at a zoo? Doesn't that sound wonderful? Well, in the book, Don't Feed the Boy, we meet Whit Whitaker. Whit really does live at the zoo. His mother is the director of the zoo, his father is the head of the elephants, and their home is on the zoo grounds. Whit even has a teacher, Miss Connie, who tutors him at home so he never leaves the zoo grounds. He doesn't like living at the zoo all the time. You see, he doesn't have any other kids to play with, and he'd really like to escape. One day he notices a girl who comes every day to the zoo, who sits by the birds and draws pictures of them. Whit wonders why she's there every day drawing, and he finally gets up the courage to go and introduce himself. Well, it happens that Stella, or the bird girl as he calls her, doesn't have a really happy home life, and so she likes to come to the zoo to have calm and peace and quiet. She and Whit get to be good friends, and he even gives her a behind-the-scenes tour at the zoo. But when she asks him to do something that is rather dangerous, something he knows his parents would not approve of, but something she wants him to do to prove that he's her friend, he has a big decision to make. A great book, Don't Feed the Boy.
I am a superhero. Okay, I have a confession. I'm not really a superhero, but I know a really good book about one. It's called Sidekicked, and it's the story of Andrew, or Drew, and he has superpowers. He's in middle school, and he is a superhero sidekick in training. Life is pretty normal for Drew, but when a supervillain shows up into town, and all of the other superheroes start disappearing, everything is left up to Drew to save the day. Check out Sidekicked.
Boys and girls, when you hear the word unicorn, what do you think of? A beautiful white creature with a glowing horn, a pink mane with sparkles and glitter. Well, let me tell you, in the bad unicorn, that is not the kind of unicorn we're going to talk about. Instead, meet Princess the Destroyer. She eats people and anything else that gets in her way. She is after a boy named Max Spencer because he's got a book of magical spells that an evil sorcerer wants. The evil sorcerer has told Princess if she can get that book away from Max, he will set out an all-you-can-eat human buffet for her. And she is on the path to heaven. She is going to get Max, eat him up, bring the book back to the sorcerer, and sit back fat and happy. If you want a book about a mean unicorn who'll do anything and everything to get what she wants, you better check out Bad Unicorn.
Suds is just your average boy going into 3rd grade when his new teacher, Mrs. Sims, announces a contest. This is the Halo contest, and whichever kid in class is the best, most kind, most caring, most attentive child in her class, they're going to receive the Halo Award. Well, Suds is determined. He is going to be the first person in his class to get the award. And so he tries to be kind, and he tries to be caring, and he tries to be good. But he finds out that being good can be kind of hard. Check out this very funny book at your book fair.
Students, did you spend your summer having fun, hanging out with friends, and just having a great time? Well, in the book, The Hidden Summer, Nell and Lydia are 2 best friends who are hoping that's what their summer will be like. But at the beginning of the summer, their moms, who are very different kinds of people, get angry with each other, and they tell the girls that they can't see each other, even though it was the moms that had the fuss. Well, Nell and Lydia can't imagine a summer without being together, so they each come up with a story to tell their mothers about where they are during the day. Nell says that she's going to have to go to remedial summer school, while Lydia says she's been offered a chance to go to a free art camp. During the day, the girls actually go to an abandoned golf course where they find almost like a putt-putt setup. They find little places along the course to become their little meeting clubhouse. And things seem to be going okay until they begin to see strange things appearing along the course. Is someone else there? Is someone else going to turn the girls in and let their mothers find out what they've really been doing? If you have a best friend and you know you'd do anything to spend time with them, I bet you'll really like The Hidden Summer. Check it out at your Cardinal Lane Book Fair. Boys and girls, if you love a great book that involves mystery, animals, kids, and all kinds of adventure, you're going to love The True Blue Scouts of Sugarman Swamp. In this book, we meet 2 raccoons, Bingo and Jemiah, who have just become scouts in charge of looking after the Sugarman Swamp. They know that if anything threatens the swamp, they are to go and find the Sugarman. Now, he is a big, mysterious creature creature that no one's seen for years and years. But when these raccoons find out that a herd of wild hogs are headed for the swamp, intending on eating up all of that delicious sugar cane that grows there, they know they better go find the sugar man. We also meet 12-year-old Chap Brayburn. Chap's got a problem too, you see, because his mama runs the Paradise Cafe, where they make those yummy fried sugar pies. And in order to make those pies, you've got to have that sugar cane that comes from the swamp. Chap wants to save his mama's cafe, and he's got even more reason to be worried when he finds out that Sonny Boy Boku, who owns that swamp, is thinking about selling it and letting it be developed as a huge gator wrestling arena. Yeah, he's even gotten a woman named Jaeger Stitch, who is the best alligator wrestler in the world, to come and help him with his idea. If you want a book that is full of great adventure and will keep you laughing all the way, check it out at your Cardinal Lane Book Fair.
There's a great new series at your book fair called The Candy Shop Wars. In the first book, Nate and his friends stumble into the Sweet Tooth Candy Shop where they meet Mrs. White, the owner of the candy shop and the person who makes all of the candy. But the candy she makes has a secret. It gives them powers. The rock candy makes them weightless. The jawbreakers make them unbreakable. Nate and his friends soon stumble into an adventure that they have to use the candy to get their way out of. In Book 2 of the Candy Shop Wars, Arcade Catastrophe, they meet Mrs. White's brother, Mr. White. He owns a giant arcade, and they try and win games win prizes by playing all the different games. But Mr. White might have something sinister up his sleeve, and Nate and his friends have to use the candy to get their way out again. Check out the series, The Candy Shop Wars. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to have a candy war myself. In my mouth.
Wow.
Students, I have a great new series to share with you. It's Charmed Life. In book number 1, Caitlin's Lucky Charm, we meet Caitlin and her 3 best friends, Hannah, Mia, and Libby, and they are all at summer camp together. Caitlin could stay there forever. She's having so much fun. And home, it's not so much fun right now. Her dad is stressed about maybe losing his job, and Caitlin's mom is redecorating and painting the house, and she's making all the kids volunteer at the soup kitchen. Well, the 4 BFFs buy a Lucky Charm bracelet that they want to share. Caitlin's going to be starting 6th grade, and she doesn't know any kids that are going to go there. She's got the Lucky Charm first. Will her luck change with this Lucky Charm? Will she make new friends, and will things get better at her house? If so, when? Well, if you like book 1, you want to check out Mia's Golden Bird. Mia lives in Southern California, and she loves to surf. She is a true California girl. Unfortunately, she breaks her foot, and she has to do more subdued kinds of things like watching birds. She gets caught by a famous actress who wants to have her start taking pictures of her. Mia is having a fabulous time, and she's being paid to do this, but she feels a little uncomfortable telling her other BFFs about this little bit of a strange, weird job. What is Mia going to do? Well, if you like great stories about friends and little problems and how they solve them, you want to check out the Charmed Life series at your Cardinal Lane Book Fair.
All right, all my horse-loving friends out there, I've got a great new series for you. The Ponies of Chincoteague series is about 4 girls who each ride a pony that is descended from one of the most famous group of horses in the United States. Have you heard of Misty of Chincoteague and the other ponies that swim across Assateague Island to the mainland each July in Virginia? Well, in the first book, Maddie's dream, we meet Maddie Martinez. Maddie doesn't own a horse, but she rides a Chickadee pony named Cloudy that is kept at a stable where she takes lessons. She'd really love to have Cloudy as her own. And one day she hears a rumor that Cloudy's former owners are going to try to buy her back from the stable. What will Maddie do without her special pony? What will she do if she's no longer a part of the pony club? 4 girls who always chat about their ponies. In the second book, Blue Ribbon Summer, we meet Brooke, who owns a Chickadee pony named Foxy. When Brooke gets an unexpected chance to go to an amazing 2-week riding camp, she's very excited. But when she gets there, she's a little nervous. You see, the girls that are there have fancy show horses, not like the rather scruffy Foxy that Brooke owns. The girls all seem to know each other already, and Brooke feels kind of out of place. Then she and the girls hear that perhaps the riding camp is going to be turned into a big housing development. What if there's no riding camp to come back to next year? If you love great stories about great girls and great horses, check out The Ponies of Chickadee.
Students, did you know that the state of North Carolina has always been so proud to claim that they were first in flight because of Wilbur and Orville Wright's first flight on December the 17th, 1903 at Kitty Hawk? But did you also know that the state of Ohio claims that same distinction because that's really where the Wright brothers grew up? Did you know that they were high school dropouts? Did you know that their mom was very mechanical and that's probably where they got their mechanical knacks from? Did you know that they like to tinker and build things, and they used to build and have their own bicycle shop? People would bring their bikes to be repaired. And did you know with all that fun tinkering and inventing, they decided to become the first inventors of a successfully flown airplane? Well, if you really want to know lots of cool and neat things about Wilbur and Orville Wright and all the challenges they went through and the exciting part of being the first to be successful, check out Who Were the Wright Brothers.
Have you ever wondered who invented pizza or where ice cream came from? If you have questions like these, you need to check out The History of Fun Stuff, The Deep Dish on Pizza, and The History of Fun Stuff, The Scoop on Ice Cream, 2 great books at your book fair. In The Deep Dish on Pizza, you can find out facts like Americans eat 350 pieces of pizza a second. And in The Scoop on Ice Cream, you can find out that George Washington spent $200 worth of ice cream a summer. More great facts are in these books at your book fair.